We have some really extraordinary breaking news about Mitch McConnell. I was able to exclusively report yesterday, and this instantly went viral, that we have a source that says Mitch McConnell has been unconscious for 3 weeks. The former Senate Majority Leader, who has been hospitalized for weeks, we were told essentially is on life support. Some people banding about the term brain dead. That is not a call I can make. What our source told us is that he has been unconscious since going to the hospital. Now, for weeks now, people have been asking the same question, which is where the hell is he and what is wrong with him? Back on June 14th, Mitch McConnell was rushed to the hospital. We later found out he was found unconscious. We didn't learn that detail until weeks later. And ever since then, his office has been basically silent. They go, oh, he's continuing his recovery. He's receiving excellent care. He's working closely with staff on Senate business. If it is indeed true, what my source says, that he has been unconscious for 3 weeks, working closely with staff was a lie. Continuing his recovery was a lie. And that's where the story gets really, really significant. The public has not been given anything close to a complete picture of Mitch McConnell's condition. When we are told he's recovering and involved in Senate business, that gives one impression. But remember that we have not even received basic answers as to his medical condition, why he was hospitalized, or his prognosis. We have not even really heard from anyone who spoke to him directly. There was some congressman who said, or a senator, oh, he texted me that he's doing well. But it's like, okay, so they're not even claiming. It could be a lie that they got a text from his phone, but it could be true and the text was written by somebody else. None of that proves everything. What is remarkable is that since we reported this yesterday, it is now breaking through. First of all, just separately, The Hill accidentally published basically his obituary. They accidentally published a story that said, do not use, like it was marked, do not use, so no one would accidentally publish it, but it was accidentally published. A look back at Mitch McConnell's time in the Senate. Oops, they very quickly retracted that. We have even MAGA people demanding proof of life from Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's daughter has reportedly deleted her X account. And neighbors of Mitch McConnell in Washington, D.C. have said no one has come or gone since he was hospitalized. And you might say, well, what about his wife, Elaine Chao? We learned yesterday that Elaine Chao, 3 days after the hospitalization of Mitch McConnell, was meeting with the Chinese vice president in Beijing. Oh, boy. So you take the totality of this story and you've got a way bigger issue than, oh, we're curious about the health of an elderly senator. If a United States senator cannot perform the duties of the office for an extended period, what happens? And the answer we are learning is maybe not that much. Senate seats don't usually become vacant unless the senator resigns, which if you're on life support, you can't really do, dies, which if you're on life support, you're alive, or is expelled by a 2/3 vote of the Senate. There isn't really a mechanism for declaring someone medically unable to serve and replacing them, not to mention that Kentucky doesn't allow gubernatorial appointments. They would have a special election to fill an empty seat. So we have a constitutional problem here. We have a political problem. Now, there are some people who are going, oh, you're trying to violate HIPAA. You want to demand private medical records you're not entitled to. Public officials still get medical privacy. First of all, HIPAA applies to medical providers. It doesn't apply to reporters, his family, his staff, or whatever. That's number one. They're free to say whatever the people in charge decide should be said. If Mitch McConnell is incapacitated and has been for 3 weeks, he certainly can't be part of that. But maybe his wife could be, but she's in China. It's all wacky. The point here is Republicans made medical transparency the issue when Joe Biden was running for re-election. And they don't want it to apply to Donald Trump. And I guess a lot of them don't really care whether it applies to one of the most senior senators, one of the most powerful 100 people in the country. The public, without violating HIPAA, The public is entitled to know, can one of the 100 most powerful people in the country carry out the basic responsibilities of his job? And right now, we don't have definitive answers. They, in Mitch McConnell's office, are giving us carefully crafted talking points. But even we are now getting sources saying he has been unconscious for 3 weeks. And I am increasingly convinced that there is a deliberate cover up going on here. Now, is anybody with direct knowledge going to level with the American people? If they are not, these questions are going to get louder and louder. And what has been interesting is that Laura Loomer, this right-wing provocateur, she posted a sort of very kind of, in a sense, crass, I guess I would call it, statement about Mitch is not coming back. He's brain dead to social media yesterday. And it did not generate that much reaction. But then our source fundamentally is telling us the exact same thing, which is he was found unconscious and he has remained unconscious the entire time that he has been in the hospital. So when will we find out the truth? It's starting to feel like one of these situations where we will find out much later what is going on, but the pressure is mounting. And to a great degree, it's mounting because of a lot of you. When we published the story yesterday, close to 1 million views on YouTube, close to 1 million views on Instagram. And very quickly, a lot of additional reports started coming out. A lot of additional calls to Mitch McConnell's office. What is going on have started surfacing. So ultimately, I think we're going to find out what happened. Will it be too late? Will it be a sort of disgrace in terms of transparency to the American people? I believe it will, but eventually we're going to figure out what happened here. Thanks for watching. Check out another one of our videos and make sure to subscribe so YouTube keeps our content in your feed. And if you prefer audio, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify or Apple.